Hey everybody, Steve here in Palm Springs. The other day someone asked me what was on my bucket list, and I thought about it for a few minutes and I realized, the number one thing on my bucket list is to live to be 100 years old. Or die trying, right? If I don't make it, what's the worst that can happen? Now, I don't have a lot of longevity in my family. The odds are kind of stacked against me. It's not very likely that I'll make it to 100. But I've noticed over the years that mindset is a very positive thing, or a very powerful thing, and can work miracles. So if you're really focused on something that you really want, you visualize it, a lot of times you can make it happen just by your mind. I mean, that may sound weird to some of you, but I've experienced it and I've seen that happen with a lot of people over the years. So I'm just in my mind, I'm just going to assume that I'm going to make it, despite all the odds, I'm going to make it to 100 years old. I would love to die on my 100th birthday. I think that would just be really neat. It's a neat milestone. As far as I know, we're only here once, and so why not stay as long as possible? That got me thinking, and I was wondering if you guys are similar. Because for as long as I can remember, when I was a kid, I always thought, wouldn't that be neat to live to be 100 years old? And then when I was in my 20s and 30s, I thought the same thing. And throughout my life, I've always thought that would just be really neat. And I've always really been fascinated with people who did make it to 100 years old. So I assume that most everyone else would kind of have the same feeling as me. But boy, was I wrong. I posted a poll on this channel, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I forget when. And I asked the question, would you like to live to be 100 years old? Yes or no? And only 43% of you said yes. That really surprised me. 57% of you said no. And some of you said absolutely not. That would be like one of the worst things that could happen to you. I was like, that really surprised me. The other thing that surprised me is that more of you responded to this poll than any other poll I've done since I started this channel 4 years ago. 3,500 of you responded and voted on this poll. Most of my polls average around 500 responses, if that. So 3,500 of you felt very, very strongly about it, but the majority of you didn't feel strongly in a positive way, but in a negative way. So that really surprised me. Does that surprise you if you didn't take the poll? If you're just watching this for the first time and hearing this question for the first time, does that surprise you, or do you agree? You also, 200 of you left comments. More comments than I usually get on my polls as well. So I'm going to read you some of the comments, the ones that really surprised me the most. Linda says, maybe, all depends how healthy I am and not being a burden on anyone. Well, Michael Bennett left a very funny reply. He says, really? Being a crushing burden is what I'm most looking forward to. My family is very burdensome, and I'd love some payback. Thanks for the laugh, Michael. Chickpea the Turtle says, can't imagine anything worse. Wow. Biarritz says, when I was 25, I wanted to live to be 100, but with the way everything is nowadays, I am currently 52, and I don't think I want to live to see 80. All right, here's another funny one. Gina Pizzillo says, because that's when I'll have my car paid off. Okay. Marlene Pearson says, absolutely not. I can't imagine anything worse. That's sad, Marlene. Now, this one is interesting. Robin England says, trust me, I have been an embalmer for 49 years, and you don't want to live to be 100. Gosh, that's kind of scary. I wonder what that means, Robin. What could that possibly mean? I don't want to be embalmed. I want to be cremated. Is it just because of what we look like by the time we're 100? Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, I'm sure none of us look all that great by the time we reach 100, but still. Smiley one says, no, but I probably will. Good genes. Yeah, isn't that the way it is? The ones who want to live to be 100, like me, don't have really good genes. We don't have longevity in my family. And the ones that don't want to live to be 100 have good genes. I mean, that's Murphy's Law, isn't it? Jackie Mark says, I want to be like the lady up the hill from us. She was still driving at 100. Bless her heart. That was about 5 or 6 years ago. She died at 101. Now, this is the one. I love this one. Bertram 33 says, ask me when I'm 99. It is true. A lot of it depends on how old you are. George Blackley says, depends what's on TV. I think those of you with a good sense of humor are probably more likely to make it to 100, and you're going to have a lot more fun getting there. Thomas Sargent says, my mom died at 100, and I'm shooting for 101. That's awesome. Good luck, Thomas. I hope you make it. Sounds like you have a very good chance. All right, as you can see, there are just so many comments here, and so many really good comments. Interesting, funny, sad, thoughtful. Thank you all for leaving these really, really amazing comments. I'm not going to read them all. I'd be here all day. But if you are interested in reading them, just click on the poll tab of this channel, and you can read them all yourself. And I'm sure many more will be left under this video. All right, so as always, thanks for sharing with us, everybody, and I'll hope to see you all in the next video.